Everybody, how are you today? Let's try this one more time. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Hello. This thing on. Greetings and salutations. What a beautiful day it is, and we're glad you could be here to make it that more abundant and that more beautiful. Everybody, good to see you. Happy New Year coming up. You all got plans? Yes. Everybody got plans for Tuesday night? Gonna have dinner, or gonna go to a party, or celebrate in some way, because you know what? Next year, 2025 is gonna be off the chain, baby. It really is. It's just gonna be an incredible, and I don't say that, I don't get that hit like every year. Sometimes it's like, meh, you know, but 2025, I have a feeling is just gonna be rocket. So we're glad you guys are here. If you've got a phone or a device to keep in touch with friends and loved ones far and wide, we're going to invite you to make sure it's silent or off or whatever that needs to be so it doesn't ring. Turning off that technology and turning on the technology that is our hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you're here. Love each and every one of you, and thank you for your gift of your presence and being here. How do you guys feel if I say, hey, look at the person sitting next to you? Are you okay with that? If I say, look at the person sitting next to you, and I want you to say to them, God loves you and I love you too. Yeah, just like that. Here we go. To you. Go ahead. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. Person next to you, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. You can sing on your little James Bond microphone too, right?
There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place today, and I know that it's the Spirit of the Lord. There are sweet expressions on each face today. so I invite us to continue to breathe inside of this energy of the sweet, sweet spirit that is here. Close your eyes and allow the breath, allow this focus on the breath to bring you into this here and now. Letting everything that came before this moment just to float away. Just see it moving into the earth and allowing the earth to hold everything that has come before. And allow yourself to really be grounded in that amazing holding of Mother Earth. And I invite you now to imagine a field around you, like a 3-foot circle surrounding you. This is your personal energy field. Send gratitude to this mighty field that is always there, always holding you, always nurturing you. This is your personal atmosphere. Everything that you're experiencing is represented as energy in this field. All of your thoughts, your feelings, your belief structures. The health of your physical body also lives in this energy field. Experience your mutuality with this field, allowing it to influence you and allowing your awareness and gratitude to feed it. Breathe into all that is there and be with all that is there without judgment. Experiencing all the varying textures and densities of what it is to be miraculously human and miraculously divine. Now I invite you to bring your attention to your heart and take several breaths in and out of your heart. Noticing the radiance of your heart energy beginning to expand with each breath as you bring your attention there. And sense the warm, embracing energy that is the natural quality of the heart. On your next in-breath, I invite you to breathe your personal atmosphere into your heart. And sense into the healing that is taking place with this activity. Noticing how welcoming your heart is to everything that is in your field, everything that is human, everything that is divine. And how the heart knows how to clear. How the heart knows what needs to be cleared, what needs to be nurtured, what needs to be revealed. Sense your heart embracing your field with a beautiful pink light. And sense its wisdom knowing just where to go and what to do. Now in your next out breath, breathe your personal atmosphere back out and feel it surrounding you once more. Sensing a new wholeness that is there now, a softness, a new groundedness, a lightness of being, a heart quality. On your next in-breath, breathe your atmosphere once more into your heart. And on the following out-breath, breathe it out, sensing it becoming more and more radiant, more and more translucent, more and more whole. I invite you now to bring your awareness to others that are here in the room with you, and those who are here virtually. Sensing the field that we are creating together in this heart breath. Noticing each person as a radiant being of light. Breathe into this foundational heart energy from which our time together will emerge. And feel the gift of creative love energy that we are together, that we all are already generating together. I invite you to bring your awareness to the chair that you are sitting in, feeling your feet on the ground. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. So good morning, beloveds. Good morning. I am so excited that you are here. I already feel this radiance of divine appointment that has gravitated us all together. There is no accident that we are here in this time and in this place. So I'd like to begin by welcoming our online family and visitors and letting you know how very, very happy that we are, that you are here, that you have tuned in. We already feel your hearts, we feel your light, and we already feel the beautiful contribution that your energy is making to what we are creating together. So thank you so very much for being here. And now I'd like to acknowledge anyone that may be here for the very first time. And that's the special kind of divine appointment. And so we'd ask you to stand if this is you. Yay! Awesome. So we have several gifts. Continue to stand because we have gifts for you. The first gift Tom is handing you is a welcome packet. And that's an opportunity for you to really live inside of how Unity has been loving the planet for 150 years, and how Unity of Las Vegas in particular has been giving its voice to that love. So thank you so much for being here. Next, we have an energetic blessing for you. And so I will invite our community to rub your hands together, and all you have to do for this is just to open your heart and receive. So I invite our community to repeat after me. We see who you are.
We see who you are.
You are a magnificent child of God.
You are a magnificent child of God.
You are indispensable to the universe.
You are indispensable to the universe.
You are a one-of-a-kind miracle.
You are a one-of-a-kind miracle.
We love you.
We love you.
We bless you.
We bless you.
We celebrate the light that you are.
We celebrate the light that you are.
Thank you so very, very much for being with us. I look forward to meeting you later. Yay. And so here's an opportunity now for our in-house Sangha to greet each other in the spirit of Sayubona, which is a West African term that means we see you. That's a deep seeing into that involves our ancestors, our descendants, and just the presence of the divine light that we are. So I invite you to stand, run around, hug each other, and do whatever feels led, because we are all friends here.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sawubona. We see you, all of you. My name is Don Fouts. I have the honor of being part of your service to deliver what I call the thank yous and invitations. The first thank you here is to Lisa. What a great opening meditation, bringing us into the field of divine grace is where I feel we are. And here we are, the last Sunday of 2024. Did anybody have an incredible 2024? Yeah? Yeah, some people did, okay. And I want to give, shout out to John Jones. 2025 is going to be even more amazing. I heard that. All right, so let's start off with our identity and our purpose statement. And we'll say these together. Our identity. We are family for each other, welcoming, nurturing, and awakening one another at depth. I feel that awakening here this morning. And our purpose, birthing the new human as the face of evolving love on the planet. We did that week after week in 2024. Yeah, it really sincerely grasped the depth of that statement and our mission and the fulfillment of who we are. And it's good stuff. All right, so we are a prayer-based ministry. There are prayer request forms in the back. You can fill those out, put them in the offering basket. There's a box in the back in the community center hall. And that is our prayer team, will affirm the truth of those requests. The truth is you are abundant beyond comprehension, and you are whole and complete in an infinite way. So anyway, fill out your prayer requests. If you're online, you could go to Silent Unity. That number is 1-800-NOW-PRAY, and there is somebody 24/7 that will attend to your prayer needs. Okay, we have weekly events. The first one is Life Reflection Cafe. This is on Mondays. This is Jamie. We're going to bring Jamie up here in a minute. You could meet her. But this is an ongoing small group that, for the attendees, is having an amazing time together. Am I exaggerating, Jamie? Not at all. Excellent. So that's live only here on Mondays at 10 a.m. And we have our probably the most fantastic A Course in Miracles group in the country. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. So they've been doing the lessons, 365 days of A Course in Miracle lessons, and they will begin those again. We're going to start over. Yeah. So this is the book. I wrote something down here. What did I write? I said, this is the book where forgiveness and love are the same. So join us. Let's see, Thursdays now. We moved it from Wednesdays. We're Thursdays. We're live every week. They do meet at Starbucks as a social gathering from 4 to 5. And then Unity live here. And also on Zoom. And you can register for the Zoom link on our website. Okay, so we have a midweek inspiration, which is Zoom only, beginning at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays, where we discover an in-depth meaning of the special reading. And it really is a delightful time. So come and be inspired with us on Wednesdays, and you can get the registration for that Zoom link also on our website if you don't have it. All right, the opening mic listening room is coming up the second Friday in January, which is the 10th. And this is where poets and musicians and fans of poets and musicians come at 7 o'clock and share in the talent. Michael Davitt has been our host of this for several years, and it really is a good time. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
And so the ladies in Unity, Valerie, this is your moment to come and share. Valerie's got a special announcement.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, guys, we did it. Last year, with the help of several ladies in Unity, we raised $1,500 for the community. This year's we outdid ourselves. This year, thanks to you, your commitment, and your dedication to this church, to our community, we raised $1,886. Now, with that, we're giving our church, Unity of Las Vegas, we've already given our church, Unity of Las Vegas, $950. Now, we also contributed to Friends of the Desert. They are able now to feed more homeless people. We gave them $468, which is being matched by an anonymous person. So they have almost $1,000 to feed the homeless. And lastly, we gave $468 to an organization that incentivizes kids to do better in school by providing them with designer sneakers when they bring their grades up. The name of this organization is Your Perfect Foot Foundation. We could not have done that if you guys weren't committed to the cause. And looking forward to doing it next year as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Valerie, and thank you, ladies of Unity. And we have another announcement with Jamie. Jamie, you want to come up?
Well, that's a tough act to follow. Give a huzzah to the $1,800 for the women's crew. That's so good. Anyway, I'm Jamie Jetty. I'm a practitioner at the other center. I just got to tell you, between midweek, I go to that at the Wednesdays, and that, if you haven't experienced it, it is moving. That's all I can share. It's so moving for my heart, and to be in depth and learn a little bit more about the center. I am doing something, 2024 has been very good for me, and I was talking to Erica and Lisa, and I said, you know, when Spirit talks to you, you just do it. So we're doing something 111, it's squeezed in between your meeting on the 18th, and it's January 11th, and what it is a sound medicine. No, it's not a bath, you don't bring soap. And it's something that this woman and I have met in June, and somehow with her shamanic tools and her experience and my love for crystal bowls and frequency, we have created something really, really quite dynamic. We've had testimony after testimony saying it's such a profound experience. I don't know how to explain, I don't know what happens, except it's good and more good. And the only thing I can compare this with, in the book of stories in the Bible in Joshua, they talked about the walls of Jericho, and they talked about faith, and they talked about all these different things. But people that are frequency lovers like me know on that 13th round of the wall, and the trumpets playing, it was the voice and the shout that we believe brought the walls down. So we're learning that there is powerful stuff in frequency. So join us. It's here at the center, and 40% of the proceeds go to the actual center itself. So Saturday, the 11th at 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Jamie, it sounds fantastic. And the last thing I wanted to finish up with is, do visit the community happenings table. We are a collaboration with CSL. There's one thing that they're doing I want to bring to your attention is Reverend Stacy on New Year's Eve day. So this is the 31st at 10 a.m. She's doing a conscious creation workshop, and I wanted to bring that attention to you. And John Jones?
Yeah?
You have some music for us?
Sure, if you'd like.
Fantastic.
All right. I see the new, ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive them. I forgive them. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. Ready for my change. Ready for my I'm ready for my change. Happy New Year.
Thank you, John. As we are moving into the burning gold ceremony, I want to introduce you to Joan Johnson. Joan is our board president and really very deeply spiritual.
Thank you,
Not sure if
everybody.
that is
Appreciate that.
quite where you're going.
Of course.
All right, thank you, Joan.
Thank you, John. I love
Joan.
that song. That's the
Thank
first
you.
time I've heard it, actually. So
Yeah,
it's
me too.
refreshing. Today we have the word of the day, releasing and let go. And if you're ready to affirm with me, in the tenderness of release, I find myself more fully within the heart of God. And the quote from McDaniel, I realize there's something incredibly honest about trees in the winter, how they're experts at letting things go. When it comes to letting go, nature in winter is our great teacher. Every year, we see trees releasing the most breathtakingly beautiful leaves, until not even one is left. There is a sense of trust that the new way of being that is coming is worth making room for, even at the expense of our most precious familiarities. In our humanness, releasing and letting go can be an act of profound courage. We can feel like Abraham being asked to sacrifice his only son, Isaac. It's a kind of death for the person we knew ourselves to be and our attachments. But there's nothing more freeing than letting go of what is no longer serving us. We discover wings we never knew we had. New possibilities emerge beyond what we could have imagined before, and we find ourselves more deeply rooted in divine love. As I go through my day, I align with the natural life cycle of death and rebirth. I lean on the discernment of my higher self in the face of my preferences, and I release all that no longer serves me. In so doing, I am readily met by a loving universe whose support is ever available. In that moment, I am created anew, and I behold the face of God again for the first time. If you'd like to say the affirmation together. In the tenderness of release, I find myself more fully within the heart of God. Thank you very much.
So here we are. I mean, this is an exciting time, isn't it? I don't know if you guys have been kind of looking, around and searching and hearing what's going on. But as John said, I think we are on the verge of an amazing year. Yes. And this is a great time to be alive, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we're here is very affirming that we are the perfect people to be here at this time to share love in the way that is our particular way to do it. And that is really what we're all about here at Unity of Las Vegas. And so we have been in a series called Home for the Holidays. And I love that because that really grounds us in that deep purposefulness for which we have come here. And when I came here to Las Vegas, I discovered something that was really unique about us here, that most of us were not born and raised in Las Vegas. And that's really rather incredible, isn't it? Because it's really kind of like we are being drawn here by something else, that feels more alive, that feels more purposeful, that feels like truly amazing. There's something about this city and the vibrancy and the potential that I feel is very unique. And so we started out this series with this idea of home and with this idea of belonging. What does it mean to belong? If you haven't been born and raised here, many of us don't have our biological families here. What does it mean to really belong? And so we really explored that and experienced the wisdom of Maya Angelou, who really was taking us into that place of what it is to belong nowhere, the expansiveness of that, and at the same time to belong everywhere. And so we really grounded ourselves fully in that. Next week, we had a metaphysical journey through the 12 days of Christmas, which was a lot of fun, and we decided to take a look at that in two different ways. So we looked at it through the lens of traditional Christianity, and then again through the lens of unity. And doing that is really, really important. Because in these days and times, you may have noticed that people on the planet have different perspectives. Have you noticed that? some of them really very different, very polarizing. And so those of us who are here to share love in a particular way at this time are developing this capacity to have one way of seeing things and then to wear that as a loose garment and now to look at it through an entirely different lens. So we had an opportunity to play with that. And then in week 3 was soul communion, knowing the many as the one. And we had a communion service. And it wound up being rather healing for those that have been raised through Catholicism. Because there's a tendency sometimes with a ritual that becomes very familiar to kind of get into the mechanics of it or the material nature of it and to forget the lifeblood from which it was born. All of these rituals that we are living inside of during this series came from a real archetypal aliveness that is designed to really bring us alive new, to take away what is no longer serving us and to catapult us forward in transformation. And so we discovered that the original intention behind this ritual of communion is to cultivate oneness consciousness and to heal any sense of separation, to bring us into that Christ consciousness at a very visceral level. And so last week, we joined with Unity, with Centers for Spiritual Living for a candlelighting service. It is called the Fractals of Light. And that's another opportunity again to look at the Christmas story in different ways. And so, because we have 3 ministers speaking, which is like an amazing thing to happen on a Sunday, we took a look at the Christmas story through the eyes of Mary and Joseph. And then we took a look at the story through the eyes of the wise men and through the eyes of the star. And we realized that the Christmas story, again, being very archetypal, that there are all of these perspectives, and each of them is a whole piece in and of itself. That's what a fractal is. It has like everything within the part. And so we had an opportunity to play with that. And so before going into today's message, I just wanted to give you a quick preview of the new year. We're going to start a new series starting the 2nd Sunday in January, which will be on the 6 days of creation, according to Charles Fillmore and metaphysics. And the Bible, according to Charles Fillmore, is the story of the evolution of consciousness. Isn't that rich? And so again, you have that opportunity to play with this idea. What part of this is literal? What part of this really is about that picture of how we have evolved in consciousness? Not only humanity through time, but how this is occurring ongoingly within our lives. We're constantly evolving. And so the 6 days in themselves are an evolutionary process that is really ingrained in our being. And when we align with this, I mean, in addition to being just amazing, just to be inside of it, but it's really designed to transform our lives when we align with these larger stories, these larger cosmic stories. You know, it really helps us to align in a way that brings a new level of potency to our lives and brings our purpose for being on the planet to life in a new way. So we're going to have lots of fun with that. So today's message is Unbound Spirit, exploring the freedom of letting go. And so we're going to have a burning bowl ceremony to go along with that. But most of the time when we think about letting go, it's sort of an interesting spin on it, isn't it, to say unbound spirit? Because it's usually not what we're thinking about when we're planning to clean out our garage, is it? We don't usually say, I want to have an experience of unbound spirit. I think I will go out and clean out my garage. And we find really that the ego does not like the idea of letting go of anything. You know, the ego itself, you may have noticed, maybe it's only my ego, but there is a sense of a scarcity mentality, and our whole culture is always telling us that more is better. Have you noticed that? There's this tendency to accumulate things and accumulate things and accumulate things. So when you take a look at it, there are stages of letting go. And you may notice as you go through these stages that the ego, it begins to lose its tolerance for what you're doing as you go into these deeper stages. But in the first stage, we have things, when you're out in your garage, there are things that you don't like and don't want. So this is the fun stage of letting go, isn't it? Like you look, there's something out there that you've had for 25 years, you thought you had thrown it out like 5 years ago, but here it still is, yes. So there's several things that you can kind of just let go of, and it feels nice and fun and easy, and you're clearing things out. Second stage is there are things that you like, but you can really kind of live without. You're kind of looking at those things, well, I kind of like it, but it's really cluttering some things, and I can just kind of let that go, and it's going to be all right. Then there's the third stage. This is the third stage in which the ego throws its hands up entirely. So this is the stage there where things that you want that no longer serve you. So very often the ego won't even let you discern those things. Have you noticed that? Because it keeps telling you, no, it's not possible to have things you want that don't serve you anymore. It continues to pull you down into that place. And so you may actually need to have a friend come over and help you at this stage where you're cleaning out your garage or your closet, someone else more objective to say, do I still need this particular outfit that doesn't fit me anymore and has not fit me for 50 years, but I still really like it, and I think, it has sentimental value, and so there's that where we need that type of support. And so we find that the same stages are true with spiritual release as well. And to support us in moving forward with that stages, there's a tradition that many New Thought churches do, which is called the burning bowl ceremony. And this is what we have before us. It's a bowl with a candle and sand, and people come forward with flash paper on which you have written a condition or circumstance to release. So we're going to do that very shortly. But as with such ceremonies, as we were speaking about the communion ceremony, there always is that question when you're participating. How far down the rabbit hole are you really willing to go? And how much of ourselves, when we say release, when we say surrender, how much of ourselves are we really willing to offer to this process? And how deep is our yes to surrender? And so we find ourselves in very similar stages. There are things that we don't like, but we don't want in terms of our spiritual nature. There are things that we like, but we really can live without. There are things that we want that no longer serve us. And this level of surrender can range from giving up biting your nails to forgiving someone who has hurt you deeply, or even to really a loved one who is terminally ill, surrendering them to the power of love. These are all levels of surrender. The greater the depth of surrender, the greater the transformation, and ultimately, the greater the freedom. There's a saying that comes from mystical Christian tradition that says, whether I live or die, I am the Lord's. And it's an extremely powerful level of surrender because it even goes beyond the desire for any particular result. That is you really claiming your own stand for love in the world, regardless or in the face of any way that the world happens to be showing up. And it is a kind of surrender where you know at the soul level that you're going to enter into the process one way and you will not exit in that same way. So the person that is deciding to surrender understands that they will die and a new person will emerge. So it is a very deep level of surrender. In Christian mysticism, there is a word called kenosis, which is emptying of the self. That is a deep level of surrender of possessions, material, emotional, mental. The emptying of all false concepts of self, role titles, ways of making meaning in the world. I really call this the quantum level of spiritual surrender. And this level of surrender is one of the most powerful forms of human agency that's possible. It's really the highest expression of choice. And it carries that potency of initiation of that great transformation. And it becomes a portal or a threshold to a way of being beyond what the mind can even fathom. So that's pretty amazing, isn't it? And this is the reason that we're really called into this type of spiritual work in this time. It's this level of self-emptying, this willingness to be transformed on a regular basis by love. That is being asked for us to transform the planet right now. So Elena Fairchild speaks of the surrender process as a kind of freedom from the known, as it is now too small for our souls. And I really like that particular term. It's really too small for the beingness that we are currently destined to emerge into. So she says, the time has come. You are being urged beyond what has been. Lay it to rest now. This ending comes as a grace to free you from all that you have known. For what you have known is now too small for your soul. Allow me to show you the light that you are. I will unveil you to yourself, undressing your ego, casting aside its layers as tender as a lover. You shall know yourself in truth as a pure vessel, stripped bare, ready for the divine revelation, as light, as life, as love. So surrender is turning towards possibilities lying within love's great mystery. It embraces that unknown. And a knowingness of its goodness, sight unseen. It promises the future of love reaching back to us to hold our hand in the present. And so shortly we're going to begin our ceremony. And so I'd like to make sure first that you all have a piece of flash paper. Actually, you should have 3 things. Magic number 3. You should have a piece of flash paper like this. You should have a regular piece of paper like this. And you should have a pencil or a pen if you happen to have that. Does anybody need any one of these 3 things before we begin? Now it's very important, when we actually do the burning bowl ceremony, you will use your flash paper, not your regular paper. So that's an important point. Ira's going to demonstrate that for us very shortly. So I'm going to do a brief meditation, and then you will be invited to write down on your flash paper with your pencil what you feel that you are ready to release. And we've talked about 3 stages of surrender, so it could be coming from either of those stages of surrender. Now, of course, you can't write a whole story on here because it's a very small piece of paper. So just use 1 or 2 words that are representative of what you're ready to release, and understanding that the universe understands what you mean. And that will be very powerful. So I would like Ira to come forward now and to demonstrate to us what will happen with flash paper. We used to do this with regular paper, but flash paper is just so much better because you can get that full experience of the energy of release with that in a nanosecond. All right, so we're going to begin our meditation. I'm specifically doing a heart meditation because there isn't a tremendous amount of holding of love that is available for us in this process. Otherwise, this would be an impossible ask. This is not something that the ego can do. But this is something that we can do willingly if we are really understanding that we are held in an amazing depth of love and that we are being cradled in this process. Myrtle Fillmore says, if we love the truth, we are not afraid. We are bold to put out into the sea of faith. So it is a process of really extending our faith into this holding of love. So I invite you, as you are holding your paper and your pen or pencil in hand, just to begin taking some breaths. And just imagine that you are breathing in and out of your heart. And as you are breathing in and out of your heart and bringing attention to your heart, what we bring attention to begins to grow. So notice the beautiful qualities of heart. Noticing its warmth, its glow, how it is alive, how it is both physical and energy at the same time, how it wishes automatically to move out beyond itself. And so experience it radiating out through your entire body and then out into the world. Sensing how heart energy is an overflowing cup. Invite you to bring your awareness to your heart as an organ of perception in and of itself. As having vision that includes seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting. That includes intuiting and sensing. All the ways we take in our world and all the ways that we influence our world. There's a living conversation between what we are perceiving in this way and what is being perceived. What we are seeing in this way makes it grow, revealing and becoming more of its true nature. The way the sun shining on a rose brings it forth from the earth into full bloom. What we are seeing in this way expands our capacities to see even more and to create new avenues of perception, to take in the magnificence before us ever newly, so that we don't miss any part of the evolving beauty of the universe. I invite you now to be inside of the breath of this conversation, breathing into the universe, taking it all in, all of its magnificence, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling, sensing your own capacities expanding to take in even more. Breathing out, see the universe through the eyes of your heart. Like the sun shining on a rose, watch as the universe expands and blossoms, becoming more and more radiant. Now allow this conversation to become alive within your own being, seeing yourself through the eyes of your heart, in the fullness of your own magnificence, your physical body, your mind, your spirit. In all of the magnificence of who you are, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling, and sensing your own beauty. Noticing in your perception how this beauty expands even more. Breathing out, see your whole being through the eyes of your heart, and like the sun shining on a rose, watch as you expand and blossom, becoming more and more of your true nature, more and more radiant. Breathe again inside of the fullness who you are within this generative conversation. This is heart speaking to heart. This is love speaking to love. A love that lives both inside and outside of time. With the eyes of your heart now, breathe in all of our ancestors, all beings who have come before us, whether biological or geological, allowing the gift of incarnation to be present here and now in your being. Sense you seeing them and them seeing you. With the eyes of our heart, breathe in all of your descendants, all the living beings who are yet to come, whether biological or geological, sensing and receiving the gift of their incarnation, allowing them to be present here and now in your being. Sense you seeing them and then seeing you. Breathe in this wholeness of past, present, and future within you now. We allow you to breathe in this large holding. Breathe in this love that is inside and outside of time. That includes all ancestors and all descendants. Feel the groundedness of this love holding, the peacefulness of this holding. And knowing that this holding is present for everything you are to do on this earth, on this planet. And for the depth of this transformation to take place today. Breathe out gratitude into this holding. And allow your next breath to bring your awareness back to this place and this time, to the seat that is supporting you, to the beloveds that are all around you. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. But remaining inside of that consciousness of this universal love that is available here for us in this. So before us, we have the sacred elements, the bowl, the paper, the writing instruments, and the flame. The bowl represents the vessel of our collective consciousness, a container for the energy that we bring forth. The paper holds the thoughts, patterns, and energies we are ready to release. The flame symbolizes the alchemical process of transformation itself. So into this sacred holding and in the presence of our ancestors, now let us bring to mind any areas of our lives that no longer serve us, that may be hindering our spiritual growth or causing unnecessary burdens. It could be old resentments, it could be self-limiting beliefs, or any attachments that no longer contribute to our well-being. So with intention and with gratitude, we write down these aspects on paper before us now, just using one or two words to represent what they are. And take a moment as you are writing to infuse each word with the energy of release, acknowledging that as we let go, we create space for new blessings to enter our lives. Take a breath now as you use your guidance, your inner guidance, to write on your paper. Invite you to come forward as you feel guided and to ignite the flame, watching as the fire consumes the written words, transmuting them back out into the this act of surrender, we release everything to the divine, trusting in the wisdom that guides our spiritual journey. Come forward now. blessings on this ceremony, seeing it not just as a physical activity, but as a cosmic activity, seen and felt through the entire universe. I invite us just to breathe into the largeness of what we are doing. In this, we align with the highest good and divine purposefulness. So in this moment, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of renewal, release, and rebirth. And just like the phoenix rising from the ashes, we too emerge renewed and reborn. So I now invite you to locate your second piece of paper and to retrieve your pencil. If you need another piece of paper, please raise your hand and we will make sure that you have it. So I invite you to breathe inside of the energy that has just been created inside of you. Can you feel a new spaciousness? The paper that you are holding now represents a clean slate. Represents the field of limitless possibilities. So I invite you now to write a word or a phrase that represents this new freedom. It could be a word representing a vision for this new year that we're stepping inside of. Or it could be a description of this new freedom, this unbound spirit that we now have as a result of this ceremony. And I invite you, as you carry this paper forward, keep it close by as a reminder of this freedom and of the expansiveness that is present for you always and at every moment that you surrender deeply to love. And have it represent also your particular way of being a stand for love in the world. A particular stand for love in a way that you are holding love in the face of all appearances. Take a moment to write your word or two now. And imbuing these words with gratitude, with vision, with possibility, with unlimitedness, with hope, with joy, with peace. And as you find yourselves complete, I invite you to take a deep breath in acknowledging and appreciating our collective hearts that are here, and the intentions that's in this sacred space, that the energy of surrounding love be present, enfolding each of us in our individual and in our collective journeys. For this is the way it really is.
This is the year for making changes. This is the year for moving on. This is the year of overcoming. This is the year for growing strong. This is a year for a new way of thinking. This is the year for making plans. This is the year for reaching out. And this is the year for joining hands. Gone are the lonely nights of yearning. Gone are the dark and cloudy skies. All the unsteady bridges burning, all of the doubt and all the lies. This is the chance to recapture the power. This is the time to abandon the fear. This is the moment, the finest hour. This is the year, this is the year. This is the year that I put into action all my desires and all of my means. This is the year that I follow my passion. This is the year of my dreams. This is the year I'm letting go of, trying to change the ones I love. This is the year I turn it over. This is the year I look above. This is the year that I take my intention, turn it away from distraction and talk. This is the year I take the step, and this is the year I walk the walk. This is the year that I put into action all my desires and all of my means. This is the year that I follow my passion. This is the year of my dreams. This is the year I make it happen. This is the year I follow through. This is the year I move ahead on all those things I want to do. This is the chance to renew my commitment. This is the time to be conscious and clear. This is the moment for living fully. This is the year. This is the year.
Thank you, John Jones.
Thank you, Dylan.
Yes, Transformation Station, holding it together.
Ultralight over here.
Bringing us optimism for 2025. 2024 for me was the best year ever. My younger daughter graduated from UNLV in honors. And my older daughter got married. So all those together for a dad of two daughters, phenomenal. But I'm so glad I came. I think 2025 could be even better as a result of being here this morning. Awesome. So what am I doing? We have a task. This is your opportunity to support this church financially. And it is quite an endeavor for all of us to keep us here in support of Lisa's wonderful and courageous vision as our spiritual leader. So yes. So we have an affirmation. If you hold your gift in your hand, we'll say this together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. You can bring your gifts up to the basket. And as Kathy said, you could bring your pencils.
I'll get a basket for the
that there is nothing ever that can diminish the power of love. This love flows easily into our lives, manifesting abundance, relationships that are amazing. And we are blessed in physical health, every cell vibrating harmoniously together in wholeness. Thank you, God, for this time. Thank you, God, for your infinite blessings. And so it is.
So it is time for affirmations. I invite all of us to stand and to repeat after me. And as we are saying these affirmations, as this is the last time we will be together in 24, I want you to breathe in all of the beauty and the gifts of 24 and breathe out blessings and vision for 2025. So repeat after me. I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
I am a radiant expression of the divine.
I am radiant expression of the divine.
Infinitely loved.
Infinitely loved.
And eternally supported.
And eternally supported.
My heart speaks.
My heart speaks.
As the hearts of the many.
As the hearts of the many.
I am a powerful vortex.
I am a powerful vortex.
Of love in the world.
Of love in the world.
I surrender.
I surrender.
To the promise of love.
To the promise of love.
I am a living miracle.
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 I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
And so it is.
So it is. Yes, there is peace on earth and that begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, now peace that was given to me.
And our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a great week, beloveds, and Happy New Year.
Hey, if anybody's interested, I made pumpkin bread this week, so it's out on the table. Woo! No nuts, but it was made in stuff that